An alluvion marked by a bookshelf. This should be it.
Good. Time to get some answers from the Vidasala.
Agreed. Hold on, can I just see what's here for a second? So this is a map of the crossroads. Do not stray from the marked paths. There are many mirrors, some lead to danger. Do not linger longer than you must. At the bottom, it's a floating island. Seems impossible to reach. Okay, what are you? Books in the crossroads. A book from the crossroads. Its pages are filled with numbers and letters splattered around the page in random order, like writing in a dream. Every other book on its shelf is filled with the same nonsense script. In certain lights, the letters appear to shift slightly out of the corner of the eye. I have no idea what that one is. The slim journal was tucked into a bookshelf in the crossroads as if left for someone to find. Each entry is in a different hand. I've dropped rocks off a dozen ledges. I've not heard one hit the bottom. This place has no bottom. Do not be here if you have no task here. An entry in Quinlet follows. Emmett missed the rendezvous. He said he was scouting the lower ledges on order. Another entry. Understood. No one's to go near that mirror. So they were marking mirrors and leaving notes for each other to see what books, or what mirrors rather, were the safe ones to go through. Well, hopefully this alluvion's actually safe. It's upside down. It's completely fascinating. All right. Wait, there's a few things here open. The Virdithara homecoming. The pages of this book, Memory, describe an elf approaching a city of glass spires so deeply blue they ache. The city's outskirts are wrapped in lakes of mist, and figures stroll along the pearly, glowing strips as if they walk on solid ground. Groves of trees woven into enormous parks shelter elves in quiet hollows, while other elves walk below a river churning along an invisible shoal in the air. The scene hums with quiet talk and contentment as the Memory's maker reaches the city gates already thrown wide open. Huh. Exile of the Forbidden Ones? The Forbidden Ones. The pages of this book, Memory, show the blazing forms of the Evaners banishing a howling spirit from the reaches of the Fade that touch their land. The voice rings out stern and imperial. For abandoning the people in their time of greatest need, for casting aside form to flee where the earth could not reach, we declare Zebenik and other of her ilk exiled from the lands of the Evanuris. Beware. Their familiarity with shape allows them to travel paths unaided. They may be bound, but only the protection of your gods will fully shield you from their malice. They are forbidden from the earth, that is our right. From the earth could not reach. It sounds almost like propaganda, doesn't it? I mean, we know from what we saw in the other place that the Evaners definitely use that as a tactic of some sort. They're forbidden from the earth, that is our right. So they're basically telling people that the only way that they can be safe is if they follow the Evaners. The Evaners are the only ones that can protect them. Of course, people thought that they were gods. Were the Forbidden Ones really as dangerous as they were made out to be? I don't know now. I wish I knew more about who they were, though. Signs of victory? The pages of this book, Memory, describe a monument made in a single afternoon by 1,000 toiling servants swarming over a lump of fallen stone as large as a collapsed mountain. By the end of the day, the stern figure of Elganarn stares down into a valley carved out from foothills of the rock. The slaves have disappeared. Light radiates from the Eidolon's narrowed eyes and its open, snarling mouth. Hail Elganarn, first among the gods. Mark his eternal victory. Wait. Did that just say... swarming over a lump of fallen stone as large as a mountain. Is that a Titan? Is that part of what we know? I mean, we never saw the full body of a Titan, and we supposedly went in a Titan. But, I mean, from what we saw while with that Titan, it definitely could have been inside its... Like, it could be the size of a mountain. And the outside would have been stone, theoretically, so... What if this is one of the Evanurs having had taken down a Titan? Interesting. First among the gods. So that's how they became gods. They took down Titans. Oh man. Okay, well. Does that imply then that that's why dwarves lost their connection to the Fade or lost their magic? Because of what the ancient elves did? Okay, this is getting more and more creepy and interesting as we go along, huh? What's this way? Is that a canary walking upside down? I mean, upside down for us, but still, that is crazy. More books. This is just an entire library, huh? It's somebody camped here. What is... A very private diary of Sandal Fedek. Do not read. 2 Kingsway 941. Enchantment. 19 Harvestmere 941. Enchantment. 11 First Fall 941. Again the same. Enchantment. 15 Herring 941. Enchantment. Same. It just keeps going. It's a lot of enchantments. Interesting though how they keep changing this. Who? Varric, when we were in the Deep Roads, didn't we find the, there was the mug souvenir thing that belonged to Bodan Fedek? Isn't that who you said with Hawk? Wasn't that the son of who was living with, like, Hawk's, what, I don't, like, not servant or anything like that, but didn't you say that he kind of helped out Hawk for a little bit? Why would Sandal be here? Oh, that's gruesome. Why would he have been here working on enchantments in the... I don't even know technically where we are. But we are somewhere we probably shouldn't be. Interesting. How long ago did they move on from here? Why were they here? What did they find here? What were they looking for? Or just Sandal, at least. I imagine maybe his dad didn't go too far, or maybe he struck out on his own. So many possibilities.
Visitors, patrons, welcome. The halls are open. What are you? I am study. I am a learning thirst. Come, know what has not been lost. New words, new stories. The Kunari would not approach, but we learned their words as well. If you wish to exchange knowledge, they congregate by the lower gate.
Thank you very much. Can you do me a favor and just tell me a little bit more about what this place is?
What did the old elves use this place for? This is the Virdithara, the living knowledge of the Empire. The libraries of every city, the wisdom of every court. A connecting place whose paths are in disarray.
Okay, why are the paths in disarray, though?
What put this place into disarray? The Virdithara was made with world and fade. When they sundered, so did we. Paths broke, knowledge fragmented, many were trapped. I preserve their last words.
Their last words. Last words from when the Fade and the rest of us were split?
What were these old elves' last words? What happened? Where are the paths? Where are the paths? God save me. The floor is gone. Do not let me fall. Do not let me... On this spot, that is all.
Thanks. Really paints a picture.
Yep. Yep, it does. What is the Vidasala doing here, do you know?
I'm looking for a Kunari named Vidasala. Do you know what she wants here? Vidasala, yes. She uses scholars and mages for study. They fear this place, but they seek to know the Veil.
Okay. Interesting. The Veil, though? What does that have to do with it?
What does Vidasala want to know about the Veil? I regret I do not have more information. I am sundered from myself. If you discover another one of me nearer the Kunari, I may know more. Kindly give it my greetings. I have not thought with myself for some time.
Oh, I am so sorry. Yeah, I will absolutely do that for you if I come across the other part of you. Can you share your knowledge with me?
There must be thousands of years of history here. There must be so much you can teach us.
I will try to recall, honored patron, but there are gaps, breaks. Greetings, laughter, Ema Enasal, forms out of air, light, memories. And yet there are so many broken paths at every missing. I cannot. There is no more. Apologies. I knew all once. We knew. With the break, only fragments or knowledge new since the fall.
No, don't. Thank you for what you were able to share with me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Again, though.
We'll be going now.
Know this. An unknown person, not of the Kunari, recently woke the librarians.
An unknown person. Could this be our agent of Fen'Harel?
The librarians facilitated learning before the fracture, before the fall. Now, beware them. They are unwell.
Okay. So we have some librarians that are unwell. And, you know, this place to get through. So let's make sure that we don't take any books that we don't intend on returning, because we definitely don't want any angry librarians.
There, Kunari. On that upside-down island.
Looks like a camp up there. Down there. Shit, this place is weird.
Beyond weird. Beyond weird. How do I get up, down, sideways? How do I get there? What is this? I'm gonna touch it. Oh, okay. Look at this.
That repaired some steps. Let's look around for more. The inverted alluvion must lead to the Kunari.
All right. So we just need to keep roaming around until we get all the way across to that alluvion, and then we get to be the ones that are upside down, or we're upside down to them. It's all very confusing. Is there where do I need to go though? We need to find another alluvion, I assume, to get us where we need to go. This bridge is scary. Okay. Aha, found it. This is careful. You might have to jump there. Bull probably doesn't. Varric might need help. Okay, down here. What is... All right, in we go. It hurts.
Did you notice? Your anchor is flaring up near magic. Elven magic.
Yeah, I've
It
noticed.
doesn't hurt when I cast spells. What's causing this?
I'm not sure. Tell us if it gets worse.
Okay, like any worse than it already is, because we're there. What does this say? The Vir Dirathara, the flowering imago. The pages of this book, Memory, describe an immensely tall, immensely graceful vine that flowers with the heat of a copper sunset and has blossoms as large as ponds, petals as long as a man, and scents puffing out like citron in sky and carrion death. The day the last of the vine's folds spent and extinct, the creator of this memory weeps, and after recording the flower sights and sounds, enters Euthanera. Treasure this thought, for it was the last of its kind, and so much more than the last of me. And so much more than the last of me. That's horribly sad. So those that were left behind here, that were stuck in this library, records, whatever you want to call it, they were stuck watching certain things just die out, not knowing what happened to everybody else, but just here, alone, with the few that possibly survived, possibly didn't, and then they had to watch everything just wither away. Oh, that's depressing. We can't let that happen. This is the duel of 100 years. Mythal and her wisdom interceded in an argument, between Elganarn and Falandine with the clever words. She convinced them to settle their grievance through a battle of their champions. Elganarn and Falandine agreed and set their champions against each other rather than declare war among the gods. May those nights long be remembered and Mythal's wisdom be praised. So 2 other people had to potentially die because there was a spat between 2 of the gods. I love the ancient elves so much. The pages of this book show a solemn group of elves in an amphitheater of living wood. Entire trees grown into seats and stairs for the listeners to recline on. 2 other elves in a spirit of learning are speaking in turn on ways to bend the properties of the material world when casting spells. At the end, the spirit with the air of a senior lecturer floats forward and booms in a surprisingly deep voice. The unchanging world is delicate. Spells of power invite disaster and annihilation. The unchanging world is stubborn. The pull of the earth fiercely resists making fire run like water or stone rise like mist. The unchanging world rings with its own harmony. Listen with fearless hearts and great works will unfold. Interesting. This is our world, isn't it? The unchanging world is delicate. Spells of power invite disaster and annihilation. So they were already having problems with our worlds then. It's stubborn. The pull of the earth fiercely resists making fire run like water. Making fire run like... They tried to do that, or stone rise like mist. They also tried to do that. So basically, what you see out here, these floating stones and everything like that we've seen along the way, that was easy-ish for them. But they couldn't do it where we are. Or where we're from. Not where we are right now, but where we're from. That's interesting. All right. Through here, then? Look at that desk. Just... That's creepy. That's very creepy. I'm guessing I'm looking for another alluvian or something like that to get me to the other side. That's where we came from. Or something to raise up those stairs where we are right now. I'm guessing I'm looking for one of those, like, egg-like things, maybe? Kind of almost look like a dragon egg, but not quite. Nothing here. Maybe up here? Doesn't help that this place is basically completely rubble at this point, and there's no rhyme or reason to where anything is, it seems like. That's where we were, right? That is where we were. Oh, and it looks like... Okay, so on the other side, it looks like... I remember there being a mirror over, and then... Okay. Interesting. Who are you? Oh! Who are you?
Welcome, welcome. Listen to the last words of those who lived past the fall. How could the dread wolf cast a veil between the world that wakes and the world that dreams? The Evenuris will send people. They will save us. When have you last heard from the gods? When the veil came down, they went silent. What is this veil? What has Fen'Harel done?
Are these records saying Fen'Harel created the veil between our world and the Fade?
They're saying some guy just made the veil? We must have been ass deep in demons before then.
If it's true, that means the Fade and the waking world were once one and the same.
That's a lot to take in. So it was all the same. There was never a separation, so... Is that when dwarves lost their magic? Or did they lose their magic long before that? If everything was once both the waking and dreaming world at the same time, what did that mean for dwarves? I don't know. Is that a Qunari?
These Qunari are dead, but there's not a mark on them.
I don't understand.
Backs hunched, eyes wide open. They were scared shitless when they died.
Awesome. Awesome. So that means there's only good things waiting for us on the other side of this, huh?
Look at this place. Now that we have so many samples, how hard would it be to build alluvians of our own?
Oh, I knew this one apostate in Kirkwall you would have gotten along with like a house on fire.
After these past few years, It would just be good to create something magical that is also helpful for a change.
It would be. No, it very much would be, Dorian. Something good coming out of all of this is sorely, sorely needed. Especially for those of us living it firsthand. What is... Oh, nope. I can't get through there. Is there anything over here? Look at this. It's all just lost. All this knowledge, all this everything. Gone. It's crazy. The raising of... what is this about? Architects of the Grand Solium, a gift from the Blessed Silas to clever June. Friendly debate over the color of the palace. Okay, so that's just that.
You think we could take a couple of these books back with us?
I don't see why not.
Unfortunately, I don't believe any of these are physical objects. They're ideas. You just see them as books.
How about we just leave all the creepy Fade shit where we found it?
I've never read an elven novel. I wonder what kind of stories they told.
Listen, when this is over, Varric, we'll come back in and let you run around all you want. The deepest Fade. The pages of this book are instructions on how to reach the deepest parts of the Fade, realms so far removed they're unmarked by dreamers. Epiphany requires a mind smooth as mirror glass, still as stone. Put aside 10 years for practice and then another 100 for searching. What others have learned will ease your journey. Those who never manifested outside the Fade will find it easier to find its stillest roots. But it is rare the compulsion overtakes our brethren of the air. Those manifested outside the Fade will find it easier. So almost like spirits have a harder time going to the deepest reaches of the Fade, but those of us not from the Fade don't? That's interesting. Varric? Varric, why did I find a book by you here? What? Have you even written this yet? Did you write this and not know? Is this something from a dream? Donnan wiped spilled ale off the bar, listening to the cries of the birds and the crashing of waves outside. Another slow day on the Amaranthine coast. The tavern didn't get many visitors, just a little too far south of the Antivan border to catch the caravans, but he hadn't opened it to make profit. He poured a glass of red Orlesian wine and carried it out to the patio where Lady Marielle sat, playing a lute for the benefit of a distant flock of cormorants and a sleepy Mabari hound. Donnan handed her a glass of wine with a smile. "Can I get you anything else, your ladyship?" "It's very kind of you, guardsman." Marielle set aside her lute. The sleepy hound looked up, annoyed at having its lullaby interrupted. "It's just Donnan these days," he replied. "My time in the Kirkwall Guard is over." "Is it?" She smiled slyly over the glass. "You don't think naming your tavern the Watch was a sign that perhaps you can take the guardsman out of Kirkwall, and even out of the guard, but he never quite leaves." The sun was setting behind them. The hound stretched and ambled over to the table to lay his head on Lady Marielle's knee and beg for table scraps. In the distance, the cormorants took off in a single motion to return to their routes upshore. Donnan smiled back. Maybe you're right, but tonight I'm off duty, your ladyship." "Marielle," she corrected. "And to answer your question, you can get me some company. One guardsman might suffice." And the two of them watched the last of the light disappear together in peace. Okay. Well, is this what I think it is, Varric? Does that mean that maybe I didn't mess up as much as I thought I had? I'm not gonna get my hopes up.
What the? I never wrote this.
Are you sure? Are you sure you didn't write it? Did you dream it? I know you can't dream, but did you dream it and not know? What is it, Varric? What did that mean? I only know one person with a Mabari from your past. And I thought I killed her.